Been through the desert, walked in the ocean, climbed up a mountain, I've sang in the wind, I cried out in the moonlight, I've drank that potion, wished in the fountain, and I've lived in sin. I keep searching for an answer to make me complete, but every time I think that I found it, the ground shifts under my feet. What I know is every moment is a blessing, and every love is like a light, and beauty comes with every sunrise. Living is the purpose, living is the purpose, living is the purpose, living is the purpose of life. To the goddess, lie in the night, dance with the devil, I've screamed at the store, held hands with the holy, I've touched the divine, I've plucked every petal, and again I've been born. I keep searching for an answer to make me complete, but every time I think that I found it, the ground shifts under my feet. What I know is every moment is a blessing, and every love is like a light, and beauty comes with every sunrise. Living is the purpose, living is the purpose, living is the purpose, living is the purpose of live out loud, live out loud, live
Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. It is a party up in here this morning. We have old friends and new friends and everything in between here in person, and I'm sure online as well. So if you're joining us online, good morning to you also. My name is Reverend Kris Alexander. I am the senior minister here at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living. And while we are located in Falls Church, Virginia, we have committed to being a truly global community. And so it doesn't matter where you're joining us from. We are so grateful for your presence in our community this morning. If you are joining us for the very first time this morning, an extra special welcome to you. We are so glad that you are here with us today. We would love for you to fill out a guest card so that we can get to know you a little bit better. Also, if you would like, you can get on our mailing list. There's a box for that. We aren't going to automatically add you. But that way we can just help you find what you're looking for in spiritual communities. So you can fill out that guest card. If you are here in the room, it's the beige card over on the table to your left, and you can drop it in the basket. If you're online or tech savvy, you can scan this QR code that is popping up right here next to me, or go to bit.ly/CCSLguest. If you are joining us online, actually, let me see. You know what? I'm going to ask the same question I did last week because I really enjoyed hearing the answers. What did y'all have for breakfast this morning? So if you're online, drop your answer in the chat. Here in the room, what did y'all have for breakfast this morning? Oatmeal. Very healthy. Ooh, banana bread. Oh, I'm very jealous. Okay. Banana bread's one of my favorites. Did it have nuts or chocolate chips? Just straight banana bread. That sounds amazing. What else? What did y'all have for breakfast? Peanut butter toast, very healthy, lots of protein. Hard-boiled egg, also lots of protein, very healthy. Ham and tomato casserole. Potato, even better. Ham and potato casserole. I know where I'm going for breakfast next Sunday morning. Jen, you started. Oh. Blueberries, cantaloupe, and oats. Y'all are like all in on breakfast. This is amazing. Gluten-free waffle. I love waffles. Richard. Couple of scrambled eggs and half of a bratwurst. Anyone online? Awesome. Yum. Well, I'm preparing us because today we have our third annual appreciation potluck, which I'm sure is why several of y'all are here today. This is going to be hybrid, not the potluck part, but the appreciation part is going to be hybrid. So it starts at 12:30. It's pretty much you'll have about 30 minutes after the service to regroup and find some food. If you're joining us from home, grab your lunch, go to celebrationcenter.org and click on Enter Zoom Events. If you're here in the room, there are all sorts of delicious foods. Whether you brought something or not, you are welcome to stay. There is more than enough for all. Also, shout out to my new friend, Kira Jones, who I met at Highview Church at Andy's memorial service, who is a baker. She made our cupcakes, y'all, and they look so good. They were in my fridge last night, and it was everything in me not to eat all of the cupcakes before I even brought them here. But there are more than enough. I'm super excited. And lots of delicious food that everybody's made and brought. So plan to stay at 12:30. Also, let's see, what's next? Introductions. What are we doing today for this service? So we are continuing our journey, our fun with paradox today. We are talking about the tyranny of the or, right? Sounds really interesting, fascinating. So the tyranny of the or, I'll be giving that message today. We have Rich Kurasiewicz as our practitioner on platform. Let's give him a round of applause. And then we have an extra special guest musician today, Susan Rowe. Let's give her a round of applause, and then I'll tell y'all a little bit about her. So Susan is an award-winning performing singer-songwriter based in Tacoma Park, Maryland. We've got a lot of good musicians who live around here, y'all. Her songs reflect her belief in mysterious love and her faith in things she cannot see. Sound science of minds. Resounding themes include love, loss, and human connection, influenced by such artists as Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan, Leonard Cohen, Hank Williams, and George Gershwin. She has an eclectic taste and electric taste, and it shines through in her music. Her songs are boosted by her well-executed arsenal of potent guitar work and piano finesse with a variety of rhythm styles that seem inevitably perfect for each song. Exciting, right, y'all? So let's give Susan one more round of applause. All right, next week is our Halloween costume Sunday. So all of y'all get your Halloween costume ready. Join us on Sunday morning. If you're joining us online, snap a picture, drop it in the chat of your Halloween costume. If you're joining us in person, come in your favorite Halloween costume. We'll have a little parade. It's going to be really fun. Then on November 6th, it is a Thursday night, I do believe. We are doing our next art night with Miriam Catellis. Y'all, I'm so excited. We are making shawls out of old blankets that Miriam is getting from the thrift store. So we're going to repurpose shawls, or repurpose blankets into shawls. I can't even wait. I'm so excited. So this one is $20 to cover all of the costs. Everything that you need is going to be provided for you. You just show up. It's at 6:30. It is in person only. And all of the profits and proceeds go to Celebration Center after covering costs. So this is a great way to support Celebration Center, get together, have some fun, and end up with a new shawl just in time for winter. All right, y'all. Guess what today is? Yes. Happy birthday, Celebration Center! 38 years ago. So this is today, October 22nd. 1985 was Celebration Center's charter date. How cool. We're actually here on the charter date. I know. Let's give some appreciation to 38 years of amazing work in the world. So, as you can see, we have our 38 up here. We also have some stuff for the folks in the room. So we are going to invite you after the service, if you are here in the room, to stay in your seats because there will be further instruction, all right? Further instructions, so just stay sitting. And happy birthday celebration. So what a perfect day to appreciate all of the volunteers, everybody who makes Celebration happen and who have made Celebration happen over the last 38 years. We are so grateful for this community and all of the amazing stuff that it has done over the years. So I'm going to invite Susan up. We're going to sing happy birthday to Celebration Center because we can. And then Susan's going to open us in an opening song.
So we'll do it in that key. It'll be like, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Celebration Center. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you so much. And now let's have an opening song from the amazing Susan Brown.
So let's all sing together. We are opening up in the sweet surrender to the luminous light of the shine of the light of the one. We are opening. We are opening. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly. We are rising up. We are rising up. We are opening up to the sweet surrender of the luminous light, of the light of one. We are opening up to the sweet surrender. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening.
My name is Rich Kurasiewicz, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center. Please say our vision together with me. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. Today's reading comes from Signs of Mind 365 for October 21st by Ernest Holmes. The one spirit manifests itself in and through all, including me. I accept with positive certainty that the spirit within me goes before me and prepares my way, making perfect, plain, straight, easy, and happy the pathway of my experience. There is nothing in me that can obstruct the divine circuits of life, of love, of beauty, and truth. My word dissolves every negative thought or impulse that would throw a shadow of unbelief across the threshold of my expectation. Today, I have faith that my word shall not return unto me void. I surrender myself completely to this faith. I see through all confusion to the one divine presence at the center of everything. I invite you to enter this sacred time in our service with a 3-part breath. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Feel how you are supported by your chair and the ground beneath your feet as you deepen your breath and bring your awareness to the present moment. Allow everything else, the worries, concerns, to-do lists, and busyness to fall away as you simply relax in the now. Focus on your heart center, the secret place of the Most High. And so we pray. God is the one power, presence, mind, and life. God is all there is. God is omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. God is love and is immortal and eternal. God is the entire universe. I am that I am. I and God are one. I am an individualized expression of the divine and one with God. The kingdom of God is here and is within me. I am perfect, whole, and complete. And just as I am perfect, whole, and complete, each and every one is perfect, whole, complete, eternal, and immortal. I declare that in faith we speak our word in truth to manifest peace, love, joy, and abundance in all areas of our lives. I know that it is done unto us as we believe. I know we claim the peace and harmony of God and declare wholeness is our desired state. We declare that we are rooted in divine and that there is only one life. All is well and very well in all of our affairs through the faith and love of God that flows in us, around us, and through us, and is manifested in our faith, trust, belief, and acceptance by the law of good. God works through us as us. I'm so very grateful for the faith and love of God in our lives, which is manifested in everything and everyone as the everlasting presence of God. I'm grateful for the truth that sets us free. I'm so very grateful for all the blessings that manifest and will manifest through our acceptance of the gifts that have already been made and are ours when we speak our word. And I release my word unto the law where it is already known in the mind of God and will not return unto me void. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
So, paradox. When I heard that that was the subject this morning, I'm intrigued and excited because we all have paradoxes in our lives. And I thought I'd share a song that is one of the paradoxes I have. I love sad songs. They make me happy. I'm not the only one. I thought I was for a while, but I realized I'm not. Let me see if I can get this up. Oh, it's so tiny. A key reason we enjoy sad songs is because they profoundly move us. This experience sometimes is called kamamuta, a Sanskrit term meaning moved by love. And for me, that's profoundly true. This song is a song I wrote a good while ago, in 2021. Called The First One to Say I Love You, and it's about this paradox. We're all broken, we all struggle, and every day there's some new kind of trouble. We've all been places we're ashamed of, never want to go again. Every day living, every day dying. Seems like the only thing we're doing right is that we keep on trying. I can't help but wonder, don't you wonder, how's it ever gonna end? First one to say that I love you, and the last one to say goodbye. Have a happy song to wake you up every morning, oh, but keep a sad song to kiss you goodnight. Does she need you? Does she want you? Do her kisses keep you up at night and haunt you? You must know then that she's golden. She's the one. The one whose love comes to define you, who with a simple look can always put the rhyme to all you hope for and how you want more, and who you will become. Be the first one to say that I love you, and the last one to say goodbye. Have a happy song to wake you up every morning. Oh, but keep a sad song to kiss you goodnight. You hate waking up to the hate waking up, and you're feeling like there's nothing you can do. You used to think that we were chosen, but now I know that you no longer believe it's true. Oh, but I do, old friend, I do. Last night I dreamed the bridges I burned were standing again, and you were there reaching out your hand, and then that's when I woke up crying, wishing it was true. Be the first one to say that I love you, and the last one to say goodbye. Have a happy song to wake you up every morning. Oh, but keep a sad song to kiss you goodnight. Have a happy song to wake you up every morning. Oh, but keep a sad song to kiss you goodnight.
Thank you, Susan. That was, yeah, that was lovely. That was beautiful. Thank you. Really good example of paradox. All right, y'all. I'm going to start today with a question. What is the opposite of a truth? A truth. What's the opposite of a truth? A lie, an untruth? All right, Terry knows where we're headed. Another truth. So what is the opposite of an absolute truth? An absolute truth. Another a maybe. A maybe, says the man who calls God mystery. So the opposite of an absolute truth is an absolute truth. That sums up paradox right there. So Niels Bohr says, it is the hallmark of any deep truth that its negation is also a deep truth. So that's what we're really working with here as we talk about paradox. Here in Science of Mind, we don't believe in hell or the devil or eternal damnation or even evil in the way that it's normally talked about, right? So if there's no opposite to God that is Satan, well, then the opposite of God must be God, right? If there's only one thing going on, which is what we believe here, we believe in oneness, then anytime there's an opposite of anything, it must all still be God. So when you find God, if you go 180 degrees in the other direction, you're going to find more God. That is the good news and the bad news, I think. The bad news? Well, just that you can't get away, but also if it looks like you're not hanging out with God, you're wrong, you still are. You don't have any choice in the matter. You are spirit incarnate. You are the individualized expression of the divine, whether you like it or not. That's just what it is. And it also means that we no longer have the luxury of telling other people that they're wrong, right? Because we don't know everything that they know. And They don't know everything that we know. So at the end of the day, the opposite of an absolute truth is an absolute truth. Now, does that mean that there are not things, or that everything happening in the world is a good thing? Not necessarily, right? I think we can all look out at the world and say, this is not working for a lot of people, right? So all of that is true, but paradoxically, it is simultaneously not working and all God, right? That's the paradox. The paradox is that we get to hold the fact that we are 100% human with all of the messiness and the fallacies and the mistakes and the ughness of being human, and we are 100% divine. And we get to hold the fact that we are perfect, whole, and complete all the time. Both of those things are simultaneously true. That is the paradox. So today, I want to talk about the tyranny of the or. The tyranny of the or. So we've been talking about over the last few weeks this idea that of either or versus both and how in our society, in Western society, where the majority of us were raised here in this room and maybe online, maybe you're watching from somewhere that you were not raised in Western society, but in our society, we very much idolize the either or. We are taught either or in school. Our brains are raised to function in this either or. You're either right or wrong. And if you're right, that must mean I'm wrong. And if I'm right, that must mean you're wrong, right? We have this idea that there is, it's very black and white thinking in our country. And if you don't believe me, let's just look at politics. We're not going to really look. We can look enough to see that a lot of people in politics have that either or thinking. That's the only thing we're going to look at in politics, is if you look at the politicians that are around today, there is a lot of that black and white thinking. If I'm right, you must be wrong. And if you're right, I must be wrong. And then we've also demonized being wrong. And so what tends to happen is that when we find out we're wrong, we double down and we try to make ourselves right. I saw this really hilarious. I have been spending a lot of time scrolling social media through my recovery. And I saw this meme that made me laugh and then go, oh, yeah, this is kind of what's wrong with us right now, where somebody was texting their friend and they said, I'm in an argument with my boyfriend and I just realized that he's right and I'm wrong. What do I do? And the friend responded and said, just start crying. And isn't that what we do? We don't want to admit we're wrong. It sucks. It sucks to admit we're wrong. Especially, have you ever had this happen? You're in the middle of an argument. You have been fighting for your way. You know your way is the right way. And then all of a sudden they say something and you go, oh, crap. They're right. I was wrong. Have you ever had that moment in an argument, but you're still in the middle of the argument? So you really don't want to be like, oh, never mind. Let me just walk away, right? We like to double down. We don't like to be wrong. We have associated wrong with bad. But the reality is that we're all wrong, like a lot. All of us are. Being wrong is part of that whole being human thing. And so the more that we can detach this understanding of wrongness with badness, the more we can allow ourselves to just kind of grow and to stay in the paradox of life and stay in the maybe nobody's wrong. Maybe everybody has valid points. Maybe this is good for all of us. Maybe there's a win-win-win situation here somewhere. So that right, wrong, that good, bad, that evil versus good, all of those dichotomies, they're kind of tyrannies, right? So I looked up the word tyranny, and it means cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control. And you might be thinking to yourself, that's a strong word, to use when discussing either or thinking, right? Cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power control. But let me just state out some of the ors that we are facing in our society, in our world today. And I want you to think about, does it feel oppressive? Does it feel cruel that we're having to navigate these ors that really should be ands? What about economic growth or taking care of people? Shouldn't both of those things be important? Shouldn't growth and taking care of people both be important? And yet, we have this idea that if you're doing one, you can't do the other. In our society as a whole, maybe not you individually, but our society in a whole. Technological advances or preserving the environment. Preserving the environment. Can't those two things go together? Being conservative or being liberal. Couldn't you be both of those things simultaneously? Tearing down our societal systems or holding them up no matter what. Good for the many or good for the few. Couldn't it just be good for all of us individually and collectively? Taking care of ourselves or taking care of one another. Personal safety or collective freedom. Right? All of these things, we need all of these. If I were to come to you and I were to say, do you want safety or freedom? You'd be like, I kind of want both. Is both an option? And yet, we've kind of been taught that no, they're not. You have to give up all of your freedoms if you want to be safe. And if you refuse to give up your freedoms, then you don't get to be safe. And that's just the way it is. No, we get to have it all. That is the beauty of paradox. So there's this thing that we are going to begin talking about this week, and we're going to talk about it more next week, called the third way. The third way. Now, this term was actually coined by Richard Rohr, who is a theologian, and it's hard to define. But if you think about the third way, if you think about these two paths, then you have to go down one or the other, right? Safety or freedom. There's actually this third way that's not either of them, and it's not just jumping from path to path. It's actually its own separate way. And this third way incorporates the best of both worlds. So the third way is a dance. It requires vulnerability. It requires curiosity. It requires commitment. It is transcending this binary thinking that we have been taught in our society. It's transcending society in itself and saying, hey, there is a better way to do this, where we can honor each person individually and come together collectively. It is this, it's this beautiful, it's not, let me tell you what it's not. It's not a compromise. It's not one person saying, well, I won't get my way, but that's okay. It's not a back and forth, and it's not finding common ground. It is literally transcending those two options and finding a whole new way that without our paradox mindset, without opening ourselves to the creativity that is available to us in the universe, we can't find. It is something brand new, and that's what makes it so hard to define, is because it's something brand new. And we're not great at this yet. However, we can work on it. We can get better. We've been talking over this month about paradox mindset, right? About this Janusian thinking, about koans last week, where we contemplate unanswerable questions. And that opens our brain up. It gives us more options available. And then all of a sudden we go, oh, it's not freedom or safety. It's safedom. I don't know. It's whatever it is. And then all of a sudden, we're making up new terms, new ways of being, new ways of coming together. We're incorporating more people. All of a sudden, everyone's included. All of a sudden, there's this this lightness, this sort of effervescence that comes from it. In Navigating Polarities, one of my most favorite books that I've been talking about this month, it says it's a space of experience, being and heart where transformation is possible. Now, the thing about the third way is that we don't get to go on the third way and stay the same as we are right now. If we have been all gung-ho on one or the other, we're going to have to be different people to find that third way. We don't get to show up and transcend into this third way while still being our same old selves. Hence the good news and the bad news, right? Good news, there is a third way. Bad news, you're going to have to change a little bit, right? Albert Einstein says that we cannot solve a problem at the same level that we created it. Well, we've created all these problems out of either or thinking, and I think we want to think, I would love to think that I can just solve all my problems and go along my merry way without having to change myself at all, and yet we know that's not possible. Anybody with some life experience can look back to something, a challenge that was happening in your life, and then look at who you were after that challenge was solved and go, yeah, I wasn't the same person by the time I solved that challenge as I was when that challenge came into my life. I grew, I evolved, I shifted, I changed, I became something new. So that is what the third way is calling us to. So I have some examples of what the third way is and what it can look like. Y'all want to look at these examples with me? Great, because you don't really have a choice. So so the first one I showed y'all a couple of weeks ago, but now I have a fun little diagram for it. It's breathing, right? You can't only inhale and you can't only exhale. That's not going to work very well for you. Very quickly, you're going to regret making a hard choice and saying, no inhale for me, only exhale, team exhale, right? All of a sudden, that's not going to work for you real quick. So if you only exhale, yeah, you're releasing carbon dioxide, which is great, but at some point, you are going to lack oxygen. And if you only inhale, yes, you're taking in oxygen, which your body needs, but all of a sudden, there's nowhere for all the carbon dioxide to go. We need both. I know this is a kind of silly example, but to me, if something as fundamental as breathing shows us the necessity of paradox, then it must be in every single aspect of our lives, whether we can see it or not. If it is in the most fundamental thing that we do every single moment of every single day of our lives, how important must it be in every other area and aspect of our lives? So the next thing I want to put up is doing it right or just doing it. Actually, before you put that up, sorry, that was my bad. Don't read, don't look. All right. Who thinks that it's more important to just get it done? Just do whatever it takes. That is the least surprising hand I have ever seen. Arena back there with her hand raised. I'm on the just getting it done. Like, it's better to do it than to be perfect because I am a perfectionist. And if I wait for perfection, I'm never going to get it done. So I am team just do it. Let it be what it is. C work, B yes. Who is team get it right? My spouse. Wow, that is also not surprising. Right, just get it right. Yep, Rich, not not surprising. The spouse of Arena is team get it right. Right. So you can see, you probably, even if you didn't raise your hand, there's probably one that you're like, I prefer, but I'm not going to raise my hand because I know she's about to call us all out. Right. But there is one that you tend to gravitate towards. So now let's put up the chart. So here's the benefits of doing it right. You get the most out of a tool as designed. You are confident in addressing roadblocks. When you do it right, you're sure that it's getting done right in the best way possible. Now, if you just do it, then you are able to jump into action right away. You make an approach and you learn on the fly. I have found, as somebody who has done both, you tend to be more productive. You can get more things done faster, right? Okay. So both of those things are valid, right? Getting more things done faster and getting the most out of a tool and doing something right. Both of those things are important, right? But what are the overuses? If you're doing it right and that's all you do and you never get started, then your desire for perfection blocks any action. Has anybody who is a doing it right type of person just never done it because it's never going to be perfect? Thank you for your honesty, my loving spouse. They couldn't lie because I've seen it firsthand. Right. It happens. I've had it happen. I still, have y'all noticed that despite the fact that I got crochet kits to work on crochet and learn how to crochet while I was on my leave and healing, I have not brought y'all in any completed crochet things. I have not shown you any cute, adorable crochet things. That's because I'm terrified of messing up, and I want to know how to do it perfect before I start. So yesterday I brought cheap yarn that I could mess up and it'd be okay. It's been a whole thing, right? I know. And if your approach is too formulaic, if it's too, I have to do everything right by the book, then what happens when something outside of the book happens? You aren't able to be flexible and to move and shift with things. Now, on the flip side, just doing it, just figuring it out and, let the chips fall where they may, you might miss some power of the tools that you're using. I also find this to be true. I can't teach people super well how to use like computer shortcuts and stuff because I can do them. It's not the right way. It's not the best way. I'm like, well, I just do this, this, and this. And then people who know more than I do are like, what? I mean, that worked, but that was an extra 26 steps that you didn't need. And if you just knew this one button, I'm like, well, that would have required reading the manual, right? And you might not have tips or tricks for addressing the roadblocks because you don't know any of the formula. You can only do your own freestyle dance, and yet sometimes you need the formula. The formula tells you important things. So for those of you who are a just do it kind of people, have you noticed that you got halfway into something and all of a sudden you got stuck because you didn't, learn the fundamentals that you needed? Yes, me also, because my spouse has seen that happen in my life as well. They're both important. They're both important. Let's do one more. So before I put it up, let's do structure versus flexibility. Structure or flexibility. So who prefers structure in their lives? All of the people that I would expect. Oh, we have hands popping out from the kitchen. All of the people, with the exception of maybe that hand popping out from the kitchen, would prefer structure, that I would expect to prefer structure. Now, who prefers flexibility? Same hand just piped up from the kitchen. Flexibility, yes. So you have a preference. Maybe you're like, no, some structure is good or some flexibility is good. But in general, you probably have a preference of how things would be done. So before we put up I'm just keeping Rev Ryan on their toes back there this morning. Before we put it up, what do you think are the benefits of structure? A framework to operate in. If you're online, put your answers in the chat. I'm not even saying that one. There's not as many surprises. That's a good one. There's what? Predictability. Yes, predictability. And stability. Oh, I can feel my nervous system calming down as y'all say all these lovely words. Safety. Yes, there's safety in structure. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. A bridge or a dam. That's a really great example of when you want some structure, right? You know how to show up. Yeah, you know what to expect. All right, what are the perks? What are the benefits of flexibility? Why, yes, ladies. Creativity. You have more ability to be creative. Yeah. What else? Anybody online? What are the benefits? If you you looked a little pained as you said that. Yes, if things change or things become unexpected, all of a sudden you have more ability to adapt to the changes. Absolutely. I can do anything. If there's no structure, there's no rules. I can do whatever I want. Anything else? More control? More control. You're more... Oh, okay. So when you're flexible, you're more in control because you don't have to follow some rule or structure. You can just do whatever you want and you can be in control. And then, on the flip side, that means that you're also responsible for the outcome. But yeah, you're more in control. All right. So let's see what they say. Yes. Well, look at here. It's exactly what we said. So under structure, there's predictability and there's a framework that controls the outcome. And under flexibility, creativity and adaptability. Y'all are so good at this. But then the overuses are almost the exact opposites of these diagonals. You see, so the overuses of structure is that there's no room for creativity, or you can get super rigid, and even when the structure is no longer working, you refuse to let it go, right? Or if you're only flexible and you don't allow any structure in your life, there is no consistency, right? There's no how can you hold down a job if you refuse to have no structure, or meet your friends for coffee, or go to a movie or a concert that starts at a certain time, or show up to the center on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Or if the center had no structure, we're just going to hold service whenever. Just come and maybe there'll be a service going on. That doesn't work very well, right? It's chaos. It's utter chaos. So we need to find a third way. So next week, we're going to look more at what those third ways could be. But in the meantime, I want to leave you with some thoughts. So here's the reality. It is up to each one of us to answer the call of paradox. So I have some questions. Are you willing to let go of what you have always known to step into what you know is possible? Are you willing to embrace the pain of vulnerability and uncertainty? And are you willing to release the idea that pain and suffering have to go hand in hand? So this journey from the polarity to a third way is full of discomfort and missteps. It's messy. However, it's also fun. The paradox of good and hard has never been more true than it is in this moment. And just think for a second about the world and everything that's going on and all of the messy missteps that we're going to have to take to get to the third way. This journey is both good and hard, playful and serious, necessary and optional. The very act of opening ourselves up to paradox is a paradox in itself, and you are always at choice in every moment. Thank you. So now, Susan, would you like to come up for another song?
So I love structure and chaos both. It was a great message. A lot of stuff comes to mind. My father used to always say, "You go off half cocked," and that's I jump in. without a plan. And sometimes that's great, and sometimes it's not. In writing music, there's a lot of structure to it, but you can't bring that structure to play too soon, or you stifle what I call the spirit that gives you ideas. And so yeah, really great message. It's been a while since I've been here, and everything's changed and nothing's changed. This song, and as a songwriter, you always have your antenna up. Everywhere I am, I mean, I'm listening for ideas. I was on the way grocery shopping about a year ago, and I was listening to public radio, and it was an interview with Linda Ronstadt's brother. You know, Linda Ronstadt, the famous singer. It's not surprising, the entire family is musical. And he was talking about a record he was making. I don't know if you're aware, but she has, I believe it's Parkinson's. And she can no longer sing herself, but she was helping him make a record because he's also a singer, and she was producing it. So she was in the booth. He was recording. And they had recorded the song a couple times, and he was pretty excited about it. He thought they had really got it. And he said to her, "What do you think, sis?" And she leaned into the microphone and said, "Let's do it one more time, and this time, let's bring back the beautiful." And my alarm went off. And I thought, boy, we could sure use that. And I went home and wrote this song. I don't know anyone who thinks the road we're on is going anywhere but down, down, down. Gray skies keep showing up in almost all my songs. So close to giving up, it's moment to moment. There's too many people talking for God. Sure seems like they should be listening. Oh, bring back the beautiful. Bring back the who we are. Bring back the hope we have for this dying star. We're in trouble right now. Need us a miracle. If it could be just one thing. Bring back the beautiful. Sing a song that breaks my heart, sung to a night that never ends. We've fallen in the dark, we can't get up again. Who call this raging storm? We did by our own hand. Blame enough for everyone who doesn't understand that out of the shadows and into the light is the only way left that's worth going. Oh, bring back the beautiful. Bring back the who we are. Bring back the one kind word for the aching heart. We're in trouble right now. Need us a miracle. If it could be just one thing. Bring back the beautiful. Now every song I sing, I'm looking up. And every moon that shines for me shines for you, my love. Somewhere a place for us, if we have tears enough to just bring back the beautiful. Remembering who we are stardust, golden hearts of fire. It would be such a sweet surprise, nothing short of a miracle, if it could be just one thing. back the beautiful. If we could do just one thing, bring back the beautiful. Thank you all.
I'm going to actually have you stay because we'll have you do the closing song. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Susan. That was beautiful. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings, knowing that all of the work that is done here at the center is supported by this community, by your time, your talent, your treasures, your love, your presence, all of it. And we are so grateful for you in this community. So if you have a gift for us today, a monetary donation, there are several different ways that you can donate that. Your tithe, your offering, whatever it may be. The first, if you are here in person, we do have a basket over here on the left that you are welcome to drop your offering into, or you are welcome to scan this QR code here if you are online or if you're tech savvy and in person. You can also go to celebrationcenter.org, and there you can find our physical mailing address to mail in gifts, or you can click on the Give button, and that will take you to our Secure Breeze website where you can donate. Lots of options. And now, Rich, would you like to come up?
Join me in saying our offertory affirmation together aloud. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We now bless all the gifts that are donated now or coming into the center, as we know they are given from the Spirit and love within as we practice the law of circulation. Money is energy. We express gratitude for this flow of energy of good that is motivated by love and spirit within. These gifts come into the center and go back out to the community and then come back to us multiplied as good is multiplied. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is.
So we have a last song, and again, I ask for your help on this one. I know you know it. I just learned it the last couple of days, so I need you to sing strongly. I don't know. Guitar is being paradoxical. It wants to be played, but it doesn't want to be in tune. But we'll fix that with some structure. I think I covered everything. Come together, heart and soul, as we love together. Young and old, we will sing together. Together
Let's give one more round of applause to Susan. Thank you so much for being here, Susan.
I do have CDs. They're $10 if you just
Awesome.
don't have the money. Help yourself.
Oh, thank you. And go to her website, susanrowe.org, right? susanrowe.org with an E, R-O-W-E, and check out all of her music there as well. Round of applause to Rich, to everyone who has helped in the kitchen this whole time. And as a reminder, if you're just now joining us, this 38 is because today is the 38th anniversary of Celebration Center's charter date. Woohoo! So now with all of that, and at 12:30, 25 minutes from now, join us here. We'll be getting all set up and getting our food for the potluck. Or if you're online, join us by going to celebrationcenter.org and clicking on Enter Zoom Events. You have 25 minutes to get your food together. But first, repeat after me. I notice wonderful things happening in my life. I embrace the beauty of paradox. I find balance in the contradictions of existence. I embrace both and thinking to grow and evolve. Y'all are doing great. It's a wordy one this month. That's the paradox of it. I am open to the wisdom of opposing perspectives. Ready? I am brilliant. And so it is.